Good morning. Today we'll continue with the topic microbes in the production of biogas of chapter 10, microbes in human welfare. We know that biogas is a mixture of gases which is containing methane, and it is produced by microbial activity and which is used as a fuel. You have learned that microbes produce different types of gaseous end products during growth and metabolism, and the type of the gas produced that depends on the microbes and the organic substrates they utilized. Now here we have studied about fermentation of dough, cheese making and production of beverages. The main gas produced is carbon dioxide. But certain bacteria which grow anaerobically on cellulosic material produce large amount of methane along with the carbon dioxide and hydrogen, and these bacteria are collectively called as methanogens. And one such common bacterium is Methanobacterium. These bacteria, they are commonly found in the anaerobic sludge during sewage treatment. And these bacteria are also present in the rumen. It's a part of the stomach of cattle, and a lot of cellulosic material present in the food of cattle is also present in the rumen. So in rumen, these bacteria help in the breakdown of cellulose and play an important role in the nutrition of cattle. Do you think we human beings are capable of digesting the cellulose that is present in our food? No. So thus the excreta or the dung of the cattle, that is commonly called as cow dung, that is rich in these bacteria. Now dung that can be used for generation of biogas commonly produced these days. So biogas plant consists of a concrete tank which is 10 to 15 feet deep, in which bio wastes they are collected and a slurry of dung is fed. Now here we can see a floating cover. Here you can see here a gas holder tank, a floating cover that is placed over the slurry, which keeps on rising as the gas is produced in the tank due to the microbial activity. So the biogas plant has an outlet which is connected to a pipe to supply biogas to the nearby houses. So the spent slurry is removed through another outlet and may be used as fertilizer. Cattle dung is available in large quantities in rural areas where cattle are used for a variety of purposes. So biogas plants are more often built in rural areas. And the biogas produced is used for cooking, lighting. So this is the picture of the biogas plant. And the technology of biogas production was developed in India mainly due to efforts of Indian Agricultural Research Institute and Khadi and Village Industries Commission, that is KVIC. So we see here this is how the biogas is generally produced in a biogas plant. Now microbes, they are used as biocontrol agents also. Biocontrol refers to the use of biological methods for controlling plant diseases and pests. Now in modern society, these problems, they have been tackled increasingly by the use of chemicals, by the use of insecticides, pesticides, and these chemicals, they are toxic and they are very harmful to human beings and animals. So they have been polluting our environment, soil, groundwater, fruits, vegetables and croplands. So our soil is also polluted through the use of weedicides to remove the weeds. So biocontrol of pests and diseases. Now let's first see this brief introduction. It is the control of the plant pathogens and diseases which are caused by them through antagonistic microorganisms. They are termed as biocontrol agents. So we'll be talking about all those microbes which will helps us as fertilizers, as biopesticides, and they help in controlling the diseases and pests of the plants. Now in agriculture, there is a method of controlling pests. that relies on natural production rather than introducing chemicals. Now, organic farming or biodiversity that further health and the major variety of landscape that has more sustainability in it. So, the organic matter and the organic farming, it works to create a system where the insects that are sometimes called as pests, they are not eradicated but they are kept at manageable levels by a complex system of checks and balances within a living and a vibrant ecosystem. Now, conventional farming practices, we use chemical methods to kill both useful as well as harmful life forms. Now, this is a holistic approach that developed to understand the web of interaction between the organisms that constitutes the different fields of flora and fauna. Now, the organic farmer holds the view that eradication of the creatures that are often described as pests is not only possible but also undesirable, and without them, the beneficiary, predatory, and parasitic insects which depend upon them as food or host would not be able to survive. Thus, the use of biocontrol measures will greatly reduce our dependence on toxic chemicals and pesticides. So, an important part of biological farming approach is becoming familiar with various life forms that inhabit the fields. Now, the very familiar beetle with red and black markings, that is the ladybird, and the dragonflies, they are used to get rid of aphids and mosquitoes. So, an example of microbial biocontrol agents that can be introduced in order to control butterfly caterpillars is the bacteria Bacillus thuringiensis, often written as BT. Now, these are available in sachet and dried spores which are mixed with water and sprayed into vulnerable plants such as brassicas and fruit trees. Now, in the gut of the larvae, this toxin is released and the larvae get killed. So, the bacterial disease will kill the caterpillars but leave other insects unharmed. So, because of the development of the methods of genetic engineering in the last decade or so, the scientists have introduced Bacillus thuringiensis toxin gene into the plants, and such plants are resistant to attack by insects, pests. So, BT cotton is one such example which is being cultivated in some states of our country, and a biological control being developed for use in the treatment of plant disease in the fungus Trichoderma. Trichoderma species are free-living fungi that are very common in the root ecosystems. They are effective biocontrol agents of several plant pathogens. Baculoviruses. These are the pathogens that attack insects and other arthropods, and the majority of the baculoviruses, they are used as biocontrol agents and they are in the genus Nucleopolyhedrovirus. Now, these viruses are excellent candidates for species-specific narrow spectrum insecticidal applications. They have been shown to have no negative impact on plants and mammals, birds, fish, or even on non-target species of the insects. So, this is especially desirable when beneficial insects are being conserved to aid in an overall integrated pest management programs, or when an ecologically sensitive area is being treated. Now, the last topic of this chapter is microbes as biofertilizers. Now, with our present day lifestyles, environmental pollution is a major cause of concern. So, the use of chemical fertilizers, they are generally used in increasing demand for the agricultural produce, and they have also created pollution also. Now, they are very now realize that there are problems associated with the overuse of chemical fertilizers, and there is a large pressure to which the organic farming and the use of biofertilizers. So, biofertilizers are the organisms that enrich the nutrient quality of the soil. The main source of biofertilizers are bacteria, fungi, and cyanobacteria. We have studied about the root nodules of the leguminous plants. Since your 9th class, you have been studying about symbiotic association of rhizobium. Now, these bacteria, they fix the atmospheric nitrogen into the organic forms, which is used by the plants as nutrients. Other bacteria which can fix the atmospheric nitrogen while free living in the soil are the examples of Azospirillum and Azotobacter, and they enrich the nitrogen content of the soil. Now fungi, they are also known, now here you can see this picture also, this fungi, they are also known to form symbiotic association with the plant's mycorrhiza, and many members of the genus Glomus, they form mycorrhizae, and the fungal symbiont herein association absorbs phosphorus from the soil and passes it to the plants. Now plants having such associations show other benefits also, such as resistance to root-borne pathogens, tolerance to salinity and drought, and an overall increase in the plant growth and development. So the advantages of this fungus is derived from this association, that is symbiotic association. Cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria are autotrophic microbes. They are widely distributed in aquatic and terrestrial environments, many of which they can fix atmospheric nitrogen. Anabina, nostoc, and oscillatoria. You can see here in the picture also. Blue-green algae also add organic matter to the soil and increase its fertility. So in our country, a number of biofertilizers are available commercially in the market, and farmers use these regularly in their fields to replenish soil nutrients and to reduce their dependence on chemical fertilizers. So that's all for today. So with this we complete chapter 10, that is microbes in the human welfare. So we have completed this chapter today. Thank you so much.